Hello and welcome to Lord Fenton Gaming plays Pathfinder Kingmaker. I am your adventurer, Lord Fenton. In today's video, we're going to go explore the abandoned hut, then the Temple of the Elk, and finally have a nice conversation with Jhod Kavken in the outpost, of course. There's a lot of things we're going to do today, so let's first get to the hut. Now, this hut gives us clues on where the Temple of the Elk is at, and it's very dire to get to this hut because it also shows the lore of the Stag Lord and what he's all about, of course. And that's like a double good thing too on that. Let me see if I can explore as much of this as I can. Look like we're all tired. I'm gonna rest. Let's see here. I put Lindsay on guard. Okay, hunting good, camouflage, yeah, we might get jumped. And Octavia is our good cook so far. That's pretty good. So let's keep on going and hopefully we get to the abandoned hut. And look like we found the right path. So let's go in there right about now.
All according to plan.
We have arrived officially at the abandoned hut. We're going to follow the Guardian of the Bloom around, which is a good thing. Meanwhile, start grabbing stuff, which is really a good thing, of course. So here we go. Alright, up ahead will be a little cutscene, so all I'm going to do is, besides look at my characters, I'm going to let the cutscene go on, so here we go. I am back, and that was a sad cutscene. Looks like one dude cast magic to hold some kind of his child or something, abused him. Yeah, that is real bad and tragic, unfortunately. This game does a great job of showing that so far, so kudos to Owlcat Games for that. It was good, but it's sad at the same time, so... Alright, combat. Let's action continue. Here we go. I am back, and those Panthers didn't last long. And Octavia's stock is real good. I did mean really good, so I would probably say is I picked the right choice of keeping her over Ragnar, the Magnus. And I love Arcane Tricksters because they could do is cast spells and do sneak attacks. Bad thing is if they get spotted, of course, that's not good at all. Great thing if they don't get spotted. So it'll be another cutscene ahead. I'm going to let the cutscene roll. There's another tragic one. Here we go. Whoa! Looked like the sun struck back at the abusive father, of course. Something tells me we're getting shown this for a very important reason, so I'm going to find out right about now.
I have been waiting for you. The flowers, birds, and wind told me you would come. Oh, my poor flowers. They will perish before long in this bog.
There was a guy in my tribe. Kept walking around listening to voices. After a while, they told him to jump off a cliff. Be careful what you listen to.
Yes, yes. The soil, water, and stones here are infused with toxic pain and fear. They poison this place as we speak. You have seen where your enemy's journey began. The one called Stag Lord was once the victim of a cruel madman, and has since become one himself. You see now how monsters are born. But what comes of regret for a thing you cannot change? There is no time to be lost. We must do away with the fog quickly. Search the area around the hut. Try to find anything that remained of the druid who lived here. I am sure the fog is his doing. This suffocating veil is as vicious as his nature. We should learn more about the fog and the ritual through which it was created. Return to me if you find anything. The past may hide the answers that shape the future. Do you really wish to know? Fine. I'll tell you a fairy tale. Once upon a time, there lived a young nymph. She lived in an enchanted forest, where 1,000 birds sung day and night, where the sun often left a spark or two hanging in the tree crowns, and where the starlight fell on sleepy glades like a glowing, soft haze. The young nymph loved simple things, like sitting by the stream with her friends, braiding each other's hair and adorning their braids with crystals made of dew, or watching the flowers blooming. But inside her soul, the young nymph dreamed of something more. Oh, dreams. Nothing in any world can live without them. Even a seed that falls in fertile soil cannot sprout without the dream of the sun. The same was true for our nymph. She wished to turn her enchanted forest into a true fairy tale kingdom and fill it with thousands of wonders. But plans so ambitious rarely go unnoticed by greater powers. Those greater powers decided to punish the nymph for her boldness. They sent a horrible monster to poison the enchanted forest and kill the singing birds. The nymph was forced to flee, and finally she found shelter here in the stolen lands. Here she hoped to sprout the seeds of a new dream, even as she mourned the dream she'd lost. But then the magic mist appeared, killing everything that lived. And the nymph cast about, desperately searching for help. So far, these are the fairy tale's final words. But I hope this is not the end just yet. One day, perhaps I will tell you more. But it doesn't matter now. We need to concentrate on the problems at our doorstep. The Stag Lord, the Druid, the Mist. I will be waiting.
I am back, and that was very tragic. We heard from the Guardian of the Bloom. The sun is the Stag Lord. I had a feeling about that. And we're going to look for a little bit more clues, and there will be another cutscene ahead. Or I should say dialogue, actually, with the Guardian of the Bloom. So here we go.
You come again. Did you find something? An ancient temple. The temple of the Stag God. Yes, that must be it. The place of power where the Druid created the fog. Perhaps we'll be able to cleanse it from there. The temple hides in the thicket not far from here. You'll need to go there and purge the place of whatever evil still lingers there, summoned by the Druid's sinister ritual. Take care. You are my only hope.
Now that we taken care of that with the Guardian of the Bloom, more story information, which is good, and I think we got the location of the Temple of the Elk. So I'm going to explore around a bit, see if there's any more treasure. Of course, combat. I'm going to let it resume, or not, since it's one animal. Look like it's a ferocious wolf. Of course, we invaded this new territory, which is the abandoned hut. So let's go loot. Well, besides that, okay, let's go. Nothing in the chest. That's unfortunate. Let's check here. Yep, double checking. Nothing there. Looks like that's about it. I'm gonna get out of here and get to the Temple of the Elk, because that is very important to get to the Temple of the Elk. That's our next goal, is that. After that, we're gonna talk to our newly priest-like character we found. Unfortunately, we don't get him as a party member. Instead, he resurrects people, but still, we're just laying out the goals right now in this video. And at the Temple of the Elk, we're going to have some serious fun, so all I'm going to do is get out of here. Here we go. We are back on the road again, of course. And we got spotted, and let's see here. I'm starting to think Octavia is giving us those evasion points. Her rogue side's kicking in nicely, so we get to avoid encounters, which is really good. Let's go rest. Okay, what the heck? Let me see here. Come on. Okay, 1, 2 out of 3, not bad. At least the Octavia's our new cook. My main guy needs to do much better camouflage. I might have to do is start checking party members better in that department, of course. And that looks like that's for your kingdom later on, so keep that in mind. So we're getting close by. What I'm going to do is a little bit off screen real quick is save, of course. Then after that, most likely camp, because you want to save in camps. This way you all full up in case it's a new and tougher area. So let's see here. I'm making some switches around. Why I'm keeping Lindsay there. Okay, we'll try that way. She'll be one of the guards, of course. So let's go in right now.
All according to plan.
That was a nice cutscene. So we got purified this Temple of the Elk. There'll be combat ahead, of course. So I'm gonna let the action go on, and here we go.
Don't hesitate.
Who will prevail?
Let us strike as
Doesn't
one.
matter.
This should do it.
Tear them apart!
I have returned from combat, and what happened was we had giant toads, and that pool is full of fog. That means one thing: we gotta purify this temple of these corrupted animals and such. So we gotta go around this whole entire area and clear it out. If your characters go through that, they'll get a nice debuff, which I think Octavia just got, unfortunately. So I'm gonna explore a bit, and if there's combat, I'm gonna let the action go on, like right about now.
Yeah.
I am back, and we defeated that primal bear. Unfortunately, it was corrupt in my eyes because in the Temple of the Elk, supposed to be friendly animals instead of animals that guard the evil mist. Looks like I cannot camp here. So up ahead is going to be a big boss-like battle, or I should say mini-boss. So here we go.
To the dust you
This will
go.
hurt.
Your aid came at just the right time, stranger. My name is Tristan. I'm a priest of merciful Sarenrae. Another moment, and I fear I would have been on my way to her chambers, somewhat earlier than my destiny requires. I have never spoken to nymphs, but I believe their assessment is accurate. The creatures occupying this temple are far from ordinary animals. The power that moved them here is related to the fog. The beasts hold the fog as anchors hold a ship dancing in the waves. From what I can tell, once the beasts are defeated, the fog should begin to clear. I'm glad to hear it. The goddess sent me here to help those in need. I am a priest of Sarenrae, and a skilled healer. I have done all I can, but it will take some time for my strength to return in full. But worry not. I will make my way to the trading post nearby and wait there as I make my recovery. I was investigating this fog. I believe you have already discerned that it is magical in nature. I serve Sarenrae, goddess of sunlight. Discovering an evil magic that isolated living creatures from the sun alarmed me in no small way. I was able to locate the place the fog originated from, but was too presumptuous and almost got into the beast's teeth. I promise to think about your request after you deal with the beasts, but please, allow me to catch my breath for now. I will wait for you. This fog bothers me.
I am back. Good news and bad news. I'll tell you right now. Bad news is there's a new cleric. I cannot have him in my party yet. Look like he's a little injured and he needs us to clear the entire Temple of the Elk area. Yeah, that's my replacement. Say goodbye, Doom and Gloom cleric, and hello, nice cleric. Looks like he can't equip any armor, but he's probably more like of the arcane type, so that means my healing spells will be much more powerful. I'll probably spec that way too. Good news is, yeah, I'll get that guy. Forget Doom and Gloom, but for now, I'll keep Doom and Gloom because I need a healer, of course. Then if there's any quests for Doom and Gloom, yeah, I'll switch them out interchangeably, which is real nice. So, looks like I most definitely miss a spot. Things happen like that sometimes when you're playing these games. Yes, you need to explore more and more often. Then again, you're on a time limit, so you need to keep that in mind. If you're playing 2 playthroughs of this game to get all the achievements, or I should say slash console achievements and trophies, yeah, go do some exploring. It will help you out big time. I do mean big time. These types of games, you thrive on exploration. Like I'm doing right now to find the last animal who's corrupted by this evil mist. That does not remind me of Ravenloft at all. If it did remind me of Ravenloft, we would have been sucked in. Looks like there's combat. So here we go.
Let's try this way.
They go down!
I need to catch my breath.
I am back from combat, and we still haven't got sucked in by the mist, and looked like we did purify the pool. That was the last set of corrupt animals, or beasts, or whatever. I should say fantastic beasts and where to hunt them down. That'll be in a future video. So let's talk to our new pal here and see what's up next.
Praised be Sarenrae. Now, if my knowledge serves, the fog should weaken and eventually clear entirely. We need only wait. Perhaps somewhere more hospitable? You've saved my life, and I wish to repay good with good. I will gladly aid you in your journeys. Alas, my wounds won't allow me to join you right now. I will travel to the trading post. I hope to be able to repay you for my life once I recover from these wounds.
Now we are done with this area officially, so what we're going to do is do some last minute exploration for extra loot that I missed. Good for you folks watching the video so you can compare notes saying, aha, I got this loot and this dumbass didn't get it, such like that. But still, you gotta explore everywhere. You never know what you're going to find. But I think I did everything I can, so I'm going to get out of here and then get back to the outpost. So here we go. I am back. Look like I tell you, try to woo me. I'm going to stay away from her since Valerie's there. And there's another cutscene. Here we go. Now that we helped out the Guardian of Bloom with the Temple of the Elk, which is all good, we're going to talk to that new cleric or druid or priest or whatever he is, because he's very important. I'm going to keep him in my camp because he's the only one that will resurrect players, which is a very good thing. Plus, I think I'm going to turn in that ring if I haven't already. Let me see here if I do that. I think I forgot to turn it in, but let's double check. Alright, there's Savannah. There, let's go. Yep, I turned it in. That's the right thing to do. So, that's all good and dandy. Well, it sounds like the half-sister is a bandit of the innkeeper's wife. So, hopefully, by keeping her alive or sparing her is a very good thing and doesn't hinder me. If it does help me, then I will update everybody on that and I'll tell everybody to do that. Unless you're evil, then, well, guess what? You're not going to get help, but still, peaceful solutions are always the best solution. Let's go talk to Jhod right now. Here we go.
Serve you? How may I serve you? Erastil be praised, you finally returned, my good friend. Tristan told me how you helped him at the Temple of the Elk. Thank you for heeding my request. My heart is calm and filled with confidence that I've followed the will of my God. I would like to reward your bravery. I possess no treasure, but please, take this as a token of appreciation. I trust in their truth. These visions, they were the voice of Erastil himself, quiet but clear. Before all this happened, I believed Erastil had turned his back to me. But now, I see clearly. He has shown me divine mercy, for he has led me to you, and invited me to aid in a fellow priest's deliverance. Lady Sarenrae and Erastil walk the paths of the gods hand in hand, and so must their servants as well. Tristan is undoubtedly still very young, and youth is a time of naivete and confusion. But I see kindness and strength of spirit in him, traits indispensable to a priest. I sense that all that's transpired thus far is only the beginning, and the future promises great things for Tristan and for you. This is why Erastil led me to the Temple of the Elk. Day and night I pray for you and for my young friend. May the stag god lead you down the true path. As you wish. That's why I'm here. As you wish. What exactly would you like to know? My story? Why not? You deserve to know it. I am a priest of Erastil, and Galt is my homeland. You can imagine what it's like following the teachings of the stag god in a realm torn by discord and strife. Rebellion and suspicion are the pillars of Galt. Led by Erastil, I tried to guide my flock to embrace tranquility and balance and guard them from hasty judgment, until I fell from grace myself. Foolish, foolish old Jhod. My misdeeds cast a shadow over my life and service. In search of redemption and a balm for my soul, I took to the road. I had come nearly to despair when Erastil sent me a vision of the Temple of the Elk. I knew that very moment that the stag god had shown me the way to redemption. Well, if you truly wish to know, I'll have to start from the long time back. Werewolves preyed upon the lands around my village. They murdered people for fun or sport and left the corpses to rot on the roads. One night, they broke into a young woman's house and dragged her into the streets. One evening, a traveler came to our tavern, tattered and dirty from days on the road, like so many others roaming Galt. He sat quietly in the corner of the tavern, drinking cheap ale, and in an instant, I knew he was a werewolf. I felt it in my soul. It was like Erastil himself had whispered it into my ear. Led by Providence, I left to gather my flock, and we surrounded the tavern. The retribution was swift. However, I was tragically mistaken. The young man was no werewolf. He was a bandit, sent to spy on the village by one of the local gangs. We only found out after, when we went through his things. Indeed, I remind myself of this every day when I awaken, and again when I go to sleep. I, who admonished my fellow citizens for the chaos they spread and the transgressions they made, but then I myself. Whatever the case, I knew Erastil was no longer pleased with me. It was terrifying. Imagine how my mind raced when here in the Stolen Lands I heard the voice of the stag god once again. He gave me another chance at service to atone for my guilt. Now I have regained hope, and that very hope is my most precious possession. For some, it is a land of freedom, where power belongs to the people, not to lords or kings. For others, it's a land of never-ending revolution, a realm surrendered to anarchy. It depends on who you ask. For me, I found Galt a violent place. Crowds eager to lynch a stranger for that accent or appearance, where a single word uttered at the wrong time or place can spark the people to riot and cities to burn. For me, It is a place inhabited by the frightened and the desperate, always suspicious, watchful of trickery. All too often they are deaf to the voice of reason. They cannot grasp that chaos and lawlessness lead only to yet more chaos and lawlessness. All my life I've tried to break through to these poor people, but alas, I don't seem to have made much progress. As you wish. Of course. It would be my pleasure. Erastil is one of the eldest gods of Golarion. His faith emerged when the first people appeared upon the land. Erastil helped our ancestors cultivate the land and hunt. Even now, his blessing lies with those who uphold the old traditions and keep to simpler ways, far from civilization and the noise of the city. Tell that to the peasant robbed of all he owns, spending his night in the gutter, hoping to live to see the sunrise. You won't see such things in a village. As you say, the word demand does not befit the stag god. Honesty and friendship, loving families, merry weddings, and newborn children in their mother's arms, they bring a smile to Erastil's face. He loves his people and rewards them with fortunate hunts and plentiful harvests. But he has no temper for sloth and vanity. He never bestows gifts upon his faithful without first measuring their worthiness. We ourselves must win our daily bread, but the stag god comes to our aid in times of need and strife. I see it more clearly every day. Erastil himself led me to meet you. Your keen spirit will serve you well. I am happy to help.
All according to plan.
Now that we update the find the Temple of the Elf by talking to our resurrector, yes, now I can resurrect our companions, which is a good thing. That's why I'm keeping him here, no matter what our differences are. Well, that's it for today's video. This is Lord Fenton signing off. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Laters all, and happy hunting.